Await my orders!
Hey guys, this is the Prince of Macedon, and I'm doing a commentary video on the Greek Shores map. This is a Carthage versus Macedonia battle. I'm in command of the Carthaginians, and my opponent is Caesar, 37, in command of the Macedonians. I've chosen a more historical-minded Carthaginian army, so I didn't use its super troops. So I've got 3 squadrons of long shield cavalry, that's my heavy cav, and my general's in command of one of them. There he is. Looks like Hannibal. My infantry consists of 3 units of 20 infantry. Now, these guys are actually pretty good, but against Royal Pikes, they are not so good. But I do have 1 unit here of Sacred Brand Hoplites who can take on Royal Pikes head-on. But fighting uphill, that could be negated. Then I have 1 unit of Iberian infantry on each flank protecting the flanks of my phalanx. And in the front ranks I have 2 units of slingers here in loose formation. And in this forest here, I've got a hidden detachment of 2 squadrons of Numidian cavalry and 2 units of Iberian infantry. Now I turned off my fire at will mode so that they could stay hidden longer and that my opponent wouldn't notice them until it's too late. That's my plan anyways. So I deployed down here so that my opponent would be forced to pass this way. And if he doesn't scout, my guys might be able to get the drop on his troops. So let's look at Caesar's army. He has 4 squadrons of companion cavalry, all upgraded. Then we can look at his general. He's in command of the right-wing cavalry here. He's on the far right. There he is. Then he has 4 units of Royal Pikes. And not to mention the fact that he's fighting from uphill, so that's going to be tough for me. Then on his far left, he has 1 unit of Phalanx Pikemen. I'm not too worried about those dudes. And on the front ranks, he has 4 units of well-upgraded archers here. So I'm outgunned in the missile department, and I have inferior infantry, and I have inferior cavalry. What I do have going for me is the element of surprise, if I'm successful. And it's kind of ironic that my name in this battle was Majo, because Majo at the Battle of Trebia was in command of the hidden detachment of Numidian cavalry and light infantry that surprised the Romans at that battle. So, here's to Majo and Hannibal. Anyways, he's drawing up his archers to destroy my slingers. So he's gonna start shooting out my dudes here. And my slingers are getting cut to pieces. So, I'm going to advance forward now. Looking over here, it's a good thing that he divided his cavalry on both wings, so that I might be able to obtain a cavalry superiority on at least 1 wing. The problem is that I'm using inferior cavalry. That could be a problem, of course. So he's coming straight at my phalanx, and I can't take him head on because I have inferior pike troops, I have inferior spear troops and I have inferior positioning, so I'm going to scatter around. That's called micro. And over here, see my guys, they have their javelins ready, but they didn't fire until I was ready for it. Now I'm going to charge out of the forest and strike them. I waited the last second. So all my cavalry is ganging up on this side here. This is a very crucial fight. If I don't take these guys out, then his cavalry is going to gang up on mine. So I have to achieve the local superiority in this sector and exploit it. So I routed his left-wing cavalry, and his right-wing cavalry was too far to affect that fight, so he's going after my slingers there. And you can see what I did over here. I outmaneuvered his extreme right, Phalanx Pikemen. So I wanted to rip them apart so I can use my numbers against his Royal Pikes here. You can see his companion cavalry going after my cavalry. So one of his companions did return from the fight on his left wing, but I chased after them before they could make an appearance back in the battle. Now I'm charging right at his remaining cavalry, which was 2 squadrons of companions with his general in charge. So I've detached a unit of Iberian infantry to help out. His general's in the fray over here somewhere. at this general, trying to be like Alexander the Great. And he's kicking it ancient style. So here's what the situation looks like. Lots of mayhem. I'm bringing in more and more troops into this fight. I have to annihilate these cavalry before, otherwise they might come back into the fight. So I want to destroy them completely. Alright, so I've taken out his general. So from this point, I can move on to his archers. Because his archers would have been very crucial in this fight. So while I'm doing that, I'm using my micromanagement to rip apart his infantry. So all around here, I'm using my micro to surround his troops and just cut them down. So in the back, here's my cavalry kicking the archers' butts.
And no one can argue that this is not both well-deserved and worthy.
So at this point, my opponent made a defeat. We both had a good game afterwards, but he terminated it, which means we don't get the results screen. But luckily, I took a screenshot of it, and here are the results. I killed 786 of his men, and I had 644 men remaining. And Caesar, 37, killed 500 of my men, and he had 322 men remaining. Good game to Caesar, 37.